Welcome to the very first episode of Dreamcast. In this series, it is my goal to collect a full PAL Dreamcast collection and share my thoughts on each game as I acquire them. So let's start with the games that I already have. Shenmue is an incredibly special game. As most of you know, I'm a huge fan of the series. It was one of the first games I ever had for the Dreamcast, and it really cemented my interest in the console as a whole. This was the first time I was introduced to the concept of an open world, and being able to freely choose what to do whilst playing was something completely fresh. I really cannot recommend Shenmue enough, and with Shenmue 3 now on the horizon, there has never been a better time to jump back in to one of Yu Suzuki's classics. Everyone's favourite blue hedgehog made his way onto the Dreamcast way back in 1999, and I was there to go along for the ride. Sonic's next-gen debut was stunning, offering up an insane amount of content. It was a real treat for Sonic fans. Although not without its problems, I can remember the camera being outright broken at some points in the game, but that does not detract from everything that the game gets right. Multiple playable characters, story arcs, and a ton of collectibles, Sonic Adventure is huge value for its current asking price. Go and pick it up. I never played Echo the Dolphin when it was originally released for the Dreamcast, but going back now and being able to play it today has been a really interesting experience. You of course take control of a dolphin named Echo, tasked with taking out an alien race known as the Foe. The story is absolutely insane and one of the more creative narratives I've ever seen. The game still looks stunning to this day and controls like a dream as you swim about the various levels, taking out enemies and vaulting yourself out of the water in spectacular fashion. If you're looking for something quite unique, go and pick this one up. Considered the true sequel to Resident Evil 2, Code Veronica follows Claire and her search for her brother Chris. What made this game different to the previous entries in the franchise was this had been the first time in which the game had been fully rendered in 3D as opposed to using pre-rendered backgrounds. Before playing it, I was a bit skeptical due to this fact and felt a lot of the series' charm would be lost with the transition, but thankfully Code Veronica manages to retain that iconic tension of the games and is all the better for it. The amount of time I spent playing Choo Choo Rocket as a child was criminal. I have so many fond memories of hooking up with my friends after school and playing this gem either over the internet or going around each other's houses to battle it out. This game is incredibly fun. If you're a puzzle fan, you will feel right at home due to the intense, quick gameplay. And with Choo Choo Rocket now actually working online again, now is the perfect time to dust off your copy and take it for a spin. Shenmue 2 picks up after the events of the first chapter and sees the main protagonist Ryo travelling to Hong Kong in search of his father's killer. As mentioned earlier, I'm a huge fan of Shenmue, and with its sequel it managed to expand upon everything that made the original so iconic, as well as introduce new aspects into the experience. Leaving the quiet streets of Yokosuka behind, Shenmue 2's location comes to life with a huge amount of interesting characters, hidden secrets, and an unforgettable tale. As many of you know, arcade races are my bread and butter. Ever since being introduced to the genre with Ridge Racer, I have always had a special place for these types of games. Originally released in the arcade, it was incredible having the option to take Sega Rally 2 home and boot it up on the Dreamcast. Of course, the Dreamcast is no stranger to incredible arcade ports, and Sega Rally 2 is no exception. In my opinion, one of the Dreamcast's finest games, and one that definitely deserves a place in your collection.